Hey, Doug Upstone here for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. It is Friday, the 10th of November. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. And if anybody's a vet out there or know someone that is, happy Veterans Day tomorrow. I'm sure I'll say it again tomorrow as well. Hey, we have a lot of college football to get to. Oh my goodness, we have 4 new games to talk about, okay, in terms of line moves. And we'll have free picks, of course. Plus, then we had all the other games that we talked about the other day, I think 7 in all. We're going to update them all for you and give you all the free picks to go with those. So that sounds like a pretty good deal, I would think, for those of you that like these free picks. You can sign up for this YouTube channel very easily, Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Many of you have, others of you should. Okay, that's up to you. And speaking of things that you should do, you might want to ponder the idea of becoming a Vegas Pro Insiders Daily member. Okay, you can get my picks. You can get all my systems that I put out. Today, I think I registered, in terms of new systems, I think I got 8 systems that probably incorporates, I don't know, 25, no, probably 30 games. You can get all those. You can get my picks. I'm on a nice little run of late, 11-5 overall, 15-5 in the NFL. 24-18 sounds right in college football, as I recall the number. $39.99 is all it's going to cost you, plus you're going to get a whole lot more power ratings and all kinds of stuff. That's all it's going to be, $39.99 a month. That's it. Vegas Pro Insider Daily right here, okay? Let's get to some college football, shall we? First up, we're going to go over the games, as I mentioned, that are new. And the ones is tonight, Friday night, Washington at Stanford. Huge game in the Pac-12 conference. Now, in this one, the total went out at 50 for Washington and Stanford. Dropped all the way down to 44 when it was thought to be early in the week that running back, I should say, Bryce Love, was a game time decision. But now that he's gone to probable, the total's gone back up to 47. On this one, I look at Stanford's offense. Unless Love has those long runs and they get going, okay, that offense doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. They're going to be facing the number 2 scoring defense in the Washington Huskies, and the Huskies, 47 or 46.2 points per game at home, just 29 on the road. Okay, big difference. I don't think there's much value at 47, to be perfectly honest with you, but I'd rather go low than go high on that one, so we'll lean with the under on that one. Let's go to Saturday. SEC. I think this is a high noon start on CBS, as I recall. Florida, South Carolina. Now, I was surprised, at least in part, that the Gators have been getting some love here. Dropped from +7.5 to +5.5 at South Carolina. In terms of as to why, I guess, first of all, Florida's off 2 blowouts to Missouri and Georgia. And I mean, I always hate to say teams quit, okay, but it didn't look good, okay? There wasn't a lot of effort, let's put it that way. In this one, though, South Carolina, I like South Carolina. I had them last week as one of my plays against Georgia with +23.5. But their offense, I'm just not sure they're going to put anybody away. And I think that's the concern with this team, especially as a favorite. At some point, right, Florida has to actually play with some enthusiasm, right? I mean, that's what I think. Maybe it won't be this week, okay? I can't say I know for sure. I do know this, though. When the Gators have scored 17 or less points in 2 straight games, they're 2-11 against spread in their next game. 83% of the people are on South Carolina, and I'm inclined to agree with those people. ACC, we're going to go to next, is we got Wake Forest and Syracuse. On this one, that's going to be on ESPN Extra, if you happen to get that on your cable system or DirecTV or whatever it is. Now, the total on this one really shot up from 59 to 66. Now, originally, Eric Dungey, the Syracuse quarterback, was, he was uncertain. He hurt his foot last week, but, he's a go. But I can safely assume, or I should say, I can safely tell you, Eric Dungey is not worth 7 points on the total, okay, at quarterback for Syracuse. If that were the case, the line would move on that as well, and that has not been the case. Dungey might be worth 1.5 or 2 as their quarterback and on a total, so that's very possible. But otherwise, I think people, my opinion is that people looked at Wake Forest, how easily they scored. I mean, they had 500 yards on Notre Dame's defense. They scored 37 points, and I think that has influenced people. And I still think that there's a conception about Syracuse here that they're an offensive team even though the fact that I believe they're 6-2 or 7-2 under this year overall. So myself, I look at the Syracuse offense. They move the ball, okay? But if you look at the statistic, yards per point, okay? And for you, those of you that know what that is, it's a number of yards gained versus and you divide it by the points that you score. Syracuse, the orange, is 96th in the country in that stat. Okay, not very good. They just don't finish drives. Okay, so that's what the problem is. I like the under on this particular game, so I'm gonna stick with that and go with that. And let's see here if I can tell you here in a second. Yeah, 89% of the people right now are on the under as well. One more game to get to, and it is a big one. Auburn hosts Georgia in the battle between the hedges. Boy, this sets up. This is really good. This is going to be an outstanding game. Now, I talked to some of my wise guy friends on this one, and some guys that are professional gamblers this week, and they are of the opinion that maybe one team will score 20 points, certainly not two, and maybe even not either one. So the total, they're thinking this is going to be an under. The total has gone the same direction from 50 down to 47. Even though just before I started doing this video, I did see some traction where maybe this is going to go back up a little bit. We'll have to see on this one. But, you know, two outstanding defenses, offenses that they move the ball, but they do have some limitations that each defense can take advantage of. Georgia is 15-6 under if they're often under, or at least one. And the Auburn Tigers are 6-0 under as a home dog the last 3 years. I just don't know how you think of an over unless there's turnovers, and you're going to anticipate that. 83% of the betting public is also on the under, and that seems to be the right call to me. Now, let's go back over some of the games from the other day that we talked about, and I'll refresh your memory at the same time and give you all the updates. For example, Big Ten, Michigan and Maryland. Michigan went up to a 16-point favorite from 13.5, and that continued to go. They're up to 17 now. To me, it's either Michigan or nothing on this one. Maryland is playing at least a third-string quarterback, if not a fourth-string quarterback. As long as Michigan shows up, they should get the job done. So I think that's the correct side on that one. Michigan State and Ohio State, another Big Ten game. Now, this is of note. Michigan State went from -17 down to -4. Excuse me. Let me start over again. Michigan State went from +17 down to +14.5, and now they're back up to +17 on this one. And that is in spite of the fact that the betting trends on this have been steady on Michigan State. It's been around 80% of tickets written on Michigan State. So that suggests to me that some big money has come in on the Buckeyes on this one. But here's my question, not a question. Here's something just to contemplate. If Ohio State had not beaten Penn State, in the Buckeyes' last 10 games, they'd be 6-4. Wow, yeah, that includes the loss to Clemson last year. So just give that some thought. I think Michigan State's the play here with the points, 17.5. Next up, Lafayette from the great state of, Louisiana. Yeah, Lafayette from the great state of Louisiana goes up against Mississippi in non-conference play for both teams. Mississippi went up to 19.5. Right now at sportsbooks I checked, they're about 19.5, 20. You know, either way. I think the Rebels are going to roll on this one. I don't see any reason that they just, they can name a score. Their passing offense, even though they lost Shea Patterson, their quarterback, their passing offense is still extremely good. So I think that they'll take care of business here. Florida Atlantic and, let's see here, Florida Atlantic's playing Louisiana Tech. That's what it is. And Louisiana Tech went from +4 to +6.5, and I'm not surprised at all. They're back down to +5 on this one. Because Skip Holtz, their coach, is a notorious, very good play as a home dog. Pretty good dog anywhere that he's coached. But, especially as a home dog. On this one, not crazy about the value anywhere, but to me, I'd rather take the 5 here. I like Florida Atlantic. I think they're going to play in the championship game in Conference USA. But Louisiana Tech, I think, is going to give them a game here. And So if it's, I think it's going to be a 3-point game pretty much either way. We'll see how that one turns out. Back to the SEC. This is our third game, I think, already. Tennessee and Missouri. Missouri started at -9, went to -11, went to 13 yesterday, yesterday being Thursday, and today they're at back down to 12.5. I can't come up with a reason why Tennessee's going to cover here. Maybe they do, but Missouri has the superior offense, and they've been playing better. So I like them here comparatively. And Tennessee, I have no idea what's going on with them. Like I said, I think the coach is going to be gone at the end of the year. Start over again. Who knows? Maybe Lane Kiffin comes back. I don't know. We'll see. UTEP is going to be at North Texas. North Texas went from 21 to a 24-point favorite. They also look like they're going to be in the Conference USA Championship game out of their division, out of the West Division. They have come back a bit, the Mean Green have, to -22.5. And as I stated the other day, I have not changed my opinion on this game. If North Texas wants to cover, they do. Okay, UTEP stinks. So that being the case, and there's a lot of times that, to me, this is how this plays out. Either you want to or you don't. And if they do, they got it covered. I think they will. I certainly wouldn't go heavy on it, but that's what I think is going to happen on that one. Finally, Boise State, Colorado State. The other day we talked about it. Boise State went from -4 up to -6. It came back to -5.5 midweek, or excuse me, 4.5 midweek, and now it's back up to 6, and I think it might even go higher. It might go back to the original starting point at 6.5. It might even go to 7. Colorado State, to me, is just in a complete funk right now. I think they're in a heap of trouble. I think Boise State, the way they're playing, winners of 5 in a row, I think they're going to take care of business. I think they'll win by at least 14 points on this one. So that's all the games for today. Also, check out the website. I have up, or as soon as you see this video, I will have up with the public, their 5 best bets in terms of what they like. So those will be up under 30 and 18, 30, 18, and 2 officially, actually, on that one. So we'll have that up for you as well. So, hey, I got my barking dog in the background, so that's my cue to go. So, hey, this is Doug Upstone from Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. I'll be back tomorrow to talk the NFL, because as of right now, I am out.